Hey cat lovers, and welcome back to another video. So you've adopted your new cat. Congratulations! Bringing a new furry friend home is so exciting. Cats make some of the best animal companions, and you will have such a fulfilling life with them. Once you've read up on things to do before bringing your cat home, it's time to introduce them to their new space. However, the journey doesn't end with adoption because there are incredibly important steps to create the best atmosphere possible for your cat. It might take a month or even more for your cat to feel acclimated to their new environment. In the meantime, you should try everything you can to make them feel safe and loved. If you enjoyed this kind of content, consider subscribing to our channel for more cat videos. Now here are 10 things to know after adopting your cat. Number 1. Keep your new cat isolated from other pets. Of course, you won't need to keep your new furry addition isolated forever, but for the first week or two, and maybe even a bit longer, you will want to make sure that you keep their space separate from other pets that you have. For cats especially, they are territorial and care a lot about their routine. So you want to give your new cat the opportunity to settle into their own routine and be comfortable in the space before you start introducing other cats. This is also an important period of time to keep the cats separate because you want to make sure that your newly adopted animal does not have any illnesses or parasites that could be spread to you or other pets. Keeping them isolated allows you to contain anything before it spreads. Number 2. If you have kids, set expectations early. Pets and kids often become great companions, especially when they grow up together. However, it is important to remember that these are animals with their own boundaries, emotions, and more. But they cannot simply speak to communicate. If they feel unsafe or disrespected, they are likely to lash out, and it would not be their fault. Before you introduce your new cat to your kids, make sure you set the expectation with your kids that the animal needs to be respected. If they are younger, there are age-appropriate ways to introduce these rules about respecting your animal's space. For example, you could write your child a letter from the new cat. Explain how excited the new kitten is to meet them, and let the child know that they are a little nervous to come into the new home. Because of that, they might act skittish or be less friendly. So they are going to need quiet and gentle attention so that they feel safe. Remind the child of some of the other ways they need to treat the cat nicely, such as picking up all of their legs when they carry them and not allowing them to wander outside. Number 3. Schedule their first vet appointment ASAP. Speaking of illnesses, it is important to schedule an appointment with a vet as soon as you can after you bring your new cat home. If you can, within the first 2 weeks is ideal. In the meantime, call the vet and let them know that you have a new animal. Ask to send over the medical records you've already received so that you can set up a file for your new pet. All of these steps will make it easier once you actually get to your appointment. At your vet appointment, make sure that you are up to date on vaccines. Even if they recently received a full checkup at the shelter or from another vet, have your vet perform one as well. It is always a good idea to make sure that your new addition is as healthy as possible, especially if you are going to introduce them to other pets. Number 4. Keep a close eye on them for the first month. There's no specific time frame for how long it will take your cat to settle into their new home. If you have other animals, this could delay the process, but within the first month they should start to feel slightly more at home. And when they do, they are very likely to start exploring outside of their comfort zone. Obviously, you want them to feel safe in all parts of the house, so it's important not to startle them, even if they are about to do something that they shouldn't. Try to be gentle and remember that this is the first time they're encountering anything in your home. This is why you need to keep an extra close eye on them. Make sure they are acclimating, and when they start to exhibit this curiosity, redirect it in more productive ways. Start introducing them to toys and try engaging their minds. The more that they know what's meant for them to use, the less likely they are to get into trouble, and you could set this boundary all without making them feel unsafe or scared. Number 5. Dedicate plenty of quality time. Cats have a reputation of being more solitary. While they are definitely more independent than other animals like dogs, that doesn't mean they don't get lonely. Cats are very loyal creatures and they can be incredibly affectionate at times, so don't forget that they'll need companionship too. Try to set aside some dedicated time to your cat every single day. If you work long hours, limit the plans you make at night. You should also spend time on the weekends at home so that they have you around. If you know that you'll be spending a lot of time out of your home and you don't already have other animals, you might consider adopting 2 cats so that they will always have more consistent companionship. In fact, it's often recommended to adopt cats in pairs, that way they always have a buddy. Adopting siblings or a bonded pair can make them feel safe and connected at all times. Number 6. Start grooming them. Cats do groom themselves on a daily basis, and they usually don't require baths unless they've gotten into a mess. But all cats require coat maintenance, and sometimes cats need regular nail trimmings. If you can perform these at home, that will help alleviate the stress of traveling with your cat to the groomer or to the vet. In order to make this a seamless process, begin grooming them as soon as you can. Work it into your daily routine. Brush them once a day for a few minutes a day to keep their coat clean and soft. This will help them shed their undercoat and also keep them from getting too many hairballs. If your cat needs their nails trimmed, try to do so every 2 weeks. Trimming their nails will help stop them from scratching your furniture or other belongings. But whether or not you trim their nails, there should always be scratching posts around the home so that they can scratch when they need to. If you want to learn how to trim your cat's nails, we'll have a link in the description box below. Number 7. Establish other parts of the routine. Another big component of making sure that your cat feels safe and comforted is establishing a routine for them. Depending on the situation you are adopting them from, they might not always have had someone to rely on to take care of them. And regardless, they are in a new home with no expectations for proper caregiving. One of the ways you can help them settle in is to quickly set their expectations for their day-to-day routine. Feed them at the same time every day, clean their litter box at least once a day, and establish playtimes. After a few weeks, they will have the reasonable expectation that you are going to continue caring for them, which will help them settle in and give you their trust. If your work schedule fluctuates or you think you may not be able to stick to specific times, then try to at least establish time windows. Your cat can't tell time. They won't know the difference between 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., but they will pick up on whether or not they can rely on you to take care of them based on whether or not they are fed, loved, and enriched. Number 8. Don't be afraid to experiment with food and litter. It's likely that you're not going to strike gold with your first choice of food and litter. Just like us, our cats have preferences. If you notice that your cat isn't very excited about their food, or they aren't eating as much, this could initially just be a sign of stress in their new environment. But if it continues, it might be a sign that they don't like the choice of food. In that case, try something new. Do some research and transition them to another food for a few weeks. You may have to repeat this a few times, but that's okay. And you and your cat will both be happier when you find the food that works for them. The same thing applies to litter. Different litters might have different odor eliminating elements and other sensory aspects that your cat might not enjoy. If you find them reluctant to use the litter box, consider trying another litter. As a pro tip, cats prefer unscented litter. Number 9. Have plenty of toys. Cats are very intellectual and active creatures, which means they require mental stimulation and exercise each day. In general, most cats need at least 30 minutes of exercise a day. So make sure that you have plenty of toys to play with. In addition to mice and balls, consider getting them other toys that will require a little more thinking, like food puzzles. You can find automatic laser pointers, feather toys, and plenty of other things to keep your cat occupied. And remember, your cat is just as likely to be fascinated by a cardboard box as they are by any fancy toy. You don't have to spend a ton of money to make sure that they're entertained. Number 10. Give them places to hide. This might seem a little bit concerning if you've never had a cat before, but they love to have spaces that they feel hidden and safe. This is especially important when you first bring them home, but even after they've settled in, they'll still likely want a place to hide. There are a myriad of reasons why having a safe space for them to retreat to is so important. If they are overwhelmed or anxious, they often seek out these small, dark, comforting places to make them feel safe. One of the most common examples is when there are strangers around. Your cat might not be as comfortable around guests as they are with you, so if you ever have people over, they may choose to hide. They are just as much a part of the home as you are, and they need to have a safe space. If this is your first cat, it's normal to be nervous, but don't worry. As long as you have prepared before bringing them home and provide a safe environment for them, you will be all set. Then you can sit back, relax, and live your life to the fullest with your new best friend. As always, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up because it helps other cat lovers find our content. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next Catterday for another video.